Hello, we are Team We Are Going Places. Our project is a domestic airline and airport performance dashboard to be used by commercial flight data analysts and industrial engineers. With our information visualization, they are able to understand different aspects of performance for airports across the continental United States and the top 10 largest airlines in America. Here you can see the starting state of the DAP dashboard. At the top we have our month and year time filters, as well as an airline filter. All of these affect all of the graphs below. On the left we have a Sankey diagram showing airport traffic flow. To the right of that we find our airport traffic map. At the bottom right we have our route performance radial diagrams and bar chart. On the Sankey diagram, if you hover on any of the airports listed on the left or right side, you can see that the airport traffic map to the right highlights that specific airport. Upon selection of one of the routes in the Sankey diagram, you can see that the route performance origin and destination filters are updated to reflect that route's information. This can also be done in reverse by clicking the same route again. This updates the route performance filters back to all, their default. The visualization should aid analysts in making business-critical decisions regarding the optimization of flight scheduling. For example, based on the general occupancy patterns, they can determine if, for a specific time period in airline, more or less flights need to be flown between two domestic airports. The radials provide this information in terms of the percentage of planned departures performed and the percentage of seats occupied. The bar chart adds depth by showing the number of flights each major airline conducts for the specific route selected. Each airline is assigned a color based on its company logo that is used to distinguish the airline-specific information across all of the dashboard's visualizations. Details on demand show the exact number of flights. Additionally, with the DAP dashboard map, an analyst can view which airports and regions are dominated by which of the major airlines. This provides information about which airline has the greatest number of travelers moving through each airport. The size of the circles on the map are proportional to the traffic moving through that airport, and the color specifies the dominant airline at that airport. On hover, details on demand provide the name of the airport, its three-letter IATA code, and the number of passengers moving through that airport in accordance with the selected filters. The Sankey diagram works to help an analyst compare the routes between the top 10 domestic airports and how many travelers move between them on each airline over a given time period. The height of each link connecting the airports correlates to the number of passengers, also seen in the details on demand. Which region is dominated by my airline? Let's say I work for Delta. I'll go to the top and I'll select Delta and press Filter. Now the map has updated to highlight the airports that are dominated by Delta Airlines. This means that the total number of inbound and outbound flights for Delta Airlines is greater than any of the other top 10 airlines at this airport. Now I can see that my airline Delta is predominant in the Southeast, Northeast, some of the Midwest, as well as some of the Northwest. Are the major routes for my airline, Alaska Airlines, the same all year? In order to determine this, I'm going to select my airline. Now I can see in the Sankey diagram the major routes that are being flown by Alaska Airlines. This includes the routes for all months of all years. So now I'm going to eliminate the summer and spring months. And see if anything in my Sankey diagram changes. As you can see, there are less flows being shown here. This means that some routes are not being flown by my airline all year. Compared to others, how many flights along a certain route is my airline performing? Should we add or subtract flights from this route? First, I'm going to select my airline, Delta Airlines. You can see in the Sankey diagram that Delta has a large number of flights going to and from Atlanta. Now I'm going to select the route that I'm interested in, Atlanta to Los Angeles. I can see my route performance radials and bar chart have updated. The bar chart reflects, similar to the Sankey diagram, that Delta largely dominates the Atlanta airport. The radials show me that 100% of the planned departures from the Atlanta airport are performed. And I can also see that 92% of my seats are occupied. From this information, I can further investigate and conclude that it's possible we may need more flights coming out of Atlanta. How has the dominant airline at an airport, Denver, changed over the recent years? First, I'll locate Denver, Colorado on the map. Right now, it's dominated by Southwest Airline. Now I'll use my year slider to filter down the years to see if there are any changes. As you can see, the color of Denver has changed. From 2011 to 2012, the Denver International Airport was dominated by United Airlines. The DAP dashboard should successfully aid flight analysts and industrial engineers in making decisions to optimize the traffic flow of passengers and airlines at and between airports. This information visualization eliminates the need to sift through hundreds of thousands of data points by presenting many components of the data in an easy-to-use and comprehensive display.